That's what we do. That's who we are. That makes us the United States of America.
The vice president, obviously unaware of the open microphone, offered his own particular take on the enormity of the proceeding. And White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs responded immediately on Twitter, writing, "Yes, Mr. Vice President, you're right. So FDR had the New Deal, Diane, and according to Vice President Biden, President Obama has the big bleeping deal." Diane?
The bill may now be law, but the battle over health care rages on. Opponents vowing to roll it back any way possible. Our congressional watchdog, John Karl, has been tracking the thunder of the opposition today.
Just as the president prepared to sign the bill, the Republican National Committee's Fire Nancy Pelosi website surpassed $1 million raised since the bill passed Sunday night. And shortly after, Sarah Palin announced her target list, 17 House Democrats who she'll try to defeat for voting yes on the health care bill. The political debate isn't over, and neither is the vitriol.
We need to defeat these bastards. We need to wipe them out. We need to chase them out of town.
In Arizona, the office of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was vandalized. She had been under fire for voting yes. And then there's Republican Randy Nagebauer. On Sunday, he yelled "baby killer" on the House floor. Yesterday, he apologized. Today, he seemed proud of it in a fundraising video.
And I will continue to speak with the same passion that I spoke last night.
As for the legal battle, today attorneys general filed challenges to the law in 14 states, arguing Congress has no constitutional power to require Americans to buy insurance. All but one of the attorneys general are Republican.
I'm confident that the court is going to declare the new health care reform law unconstitutional.
The Justice Department today vowed to vigorously defend the law, and the White House says the legal challenges will go nowhere.
My advice from counsel is that we'll win these lawsuits.
In a new USA Today Gallup poll, for all the anger, it showed that 49% think the new health care bill new law is a good thing. Now, it's still not a majority, but Diane, Democrats were ecstatic that only 40% said that it is a bad thing and say that these Republican efforts to repeal it will backfire.
John Karl, our thanks to you.
Sawyer.
Good evening. We learned today that extra security was called in for some of those members of Congress who voted yes on health care reform. It turns out angry opponents of the bill unleashed threatening phone calls, scathing words, even bricks thrown through windows. And John Karl has been following it all from Capitol Hill. What's this about, John?
Well, Diane, the incidents are relatively small and isolated, but they have captured the attention of congressional leaders and law enforcement.
Shattered glass in the offices of Arizona's Gabrielle Giffords. Death threats directed at Congressman Bart Stupak. In the mail and over the phone.
You turncoat son of a... I hope you die.
And attacks on local Democratic Party offices in Wichita, Kansas, and Monroe County, New York. That one included a quote from former Republican presidential candidate Barry Goldwater. "Extremism in defense of liberty is no vice." House Democratic leaders are suggesting some of the blame for all of this may lie in overheated Republican rhetoric.
When people start talking in the rhetoric of putting people on firing lines, or they put a target on their faces with crosshairs, that activity ought to be unacceptable in our democracy.
He's referring to this from Republican Party Chairman Michael Steele.
And this November they're going to pay. So let's start getting Nancy ready for the firing line this November.
And this from Sarah Palin, a message via Twitter. Common sense conservatives and lovers of America, don't retreat, instead reload. On her Facebook page, crosshairs mark the districts of 17 Democratic lawmakers she wants to see defeated in November. Today, some Republican leaders condemned the violence.
Violence and threats are unacceptable. It is not the American way. Yes, I know there's anger, but let's take that anger and go out and register people to vote. Go volunteer on a political campaign. And let's do it the right way.
The Democratic National Committee is publicizing the incidents and even using them to raise money. This fundraising pitch from Democratic Chairman Tim Kaine, vowing, "We're ready to do what it takes to defend the heroes who made health reform possible. Just send your checks to the DNC."
Democrats are looking to build some momentum out of this, and if they can demonize the other side, then I think it's only to their political benefit.
Late this afternoon, the Republican National Committee put out a defiant statement defending Chairman Steele's comments and accusing Democrats of, quote, seeking to stifle debate under the false guise of civility. Diane?
Well, John,